And we are back on a late shift with Will Merrill. My next guest this evening needs no introduction, but guess what he's gonna get, y'all? An introduction. That's right. On November 8th, make sure y'all vote for this guy right here. He's running for the First Circuit Court of Appeal. Without further ado, with over 30 years of experience, Judge Don Johnson. How you doing today?
I'm doing excellent.
Nice.
First, I want to appreciate you. Let me tell you, we seldom market us.
Yes.
We seldom market us.
Right.
So the first thing I need is thank you for marketing us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it's important that we share
Yes, sir.
that and help others to market
Yes, sir.
others. So I just want to break bread with you with that.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you so much for clocking in with us this evening. You know, we do appreciate it, and you know, I feel as though that hopefully that people, the viewers out there, can see you in the light that needs to be seen for the greater good of the city.
I come from a long line of public service. When I say that, I recall my mom was a school crossing guard.
Wow.
And I didn't, and then she went on to become the gatekeeper at the church. The steward, the receptionist. So I'm thinking about that, and I said, in 1954, my grandfather started a United Pentecostal church in the Park area. In the park.
Yeah, the park. Shout out.
All right,
Good
and it's
show.
still there today. It's on the corner of North 47th Street and Odell. It's a white cylinder brick church. I was 6 years. I was 6 years old. And 60 when he started the project, but they bought the land in 54. But here's what I learned from there. I didn't understand at the time what seed he was planting. And part of my job as a judge and as a lawyer before that was to plant seeds.
Yeah.
And if you don't plant seeds, nothing will grow.
Right.
So I went into lawyering to plant seeds so the others could follow. I had a vocation, I had ability, and I would always try and ask my classmates to allow me to help them. Because if I could show them what I acquired and what I learned, then I know that they could do it too.
Right.
So I always had this inner spirit about sharing what I had learned with others. So what you'll find with my career is this. When I showed up in the first grade, the first time, first day of class, my brother and I were there. And the teacher came out and said, "You're behind." Now, this is the first day. You're behind. That stuck with me, so when I got home, I asked my mom, I said, "Mom, why am I behind?" And she saw the tears coming in my eyes because I didn't want to be behind. But she says, "Yes, you are. But you didn't put yourself behind. Somebody else did.
Yeah.
Now, you run real fast and catch up." So I've been running to catch up. That's how I'll start my introduction.
I think we're all still trying to catch up, but I'll tell you what, you're getting one step closer. You're getting one step closer, and we do appreciate that for sure. You mentioned public service, but you've been in the realm of law for many, many years. Tell us how you transitioned from becoming a lawyer to a judge.
Okay. Well, I started out as a prosecutor.
Okay.
For a couple of years at the district attorney's office as a misdemeanor prosecutor. And I'll be candid with you, the DA at that time needed a couple of blacks to stay viable in electoral politics.
Yeah.
So he brought me on.
They always need us. They always need us.
I joined the team. I started out as a misdemeanor prosecutor. Then I moved up to become the felony drug court prosecutor. And that taught me a lot. And then I finally worked in the career criminal prosecutorial team. And that was to basically identify people who were constantly committing crimes and focus on them. But after I did that, I left to become a criminal defense attorney because I learned to prosecute so well.
Yeah.
I knew how to defend well.
Okay.
So I did that for the majority of my career, and I became pretty good trial lawyer here in Baton Rouge. And then we realized with a bunch of other lawyers, black lawyers, that there was a limit to our careers.
Sure.
And that limit was that you could not be a judge. Structurally, you're not going to be qualified enough for the larger group. And structurally, we're not going to vote for you because of the way you look. So we faced that issue. We confronted it directly,
Right.
and we litigated it, and eventually we got districts that we could run in. So I was part of that group, and then I went on to subdivide the Baton Rouge City Court up in the districts, and then I became I think the third or fourth black judge that ever sat on City Court here in Baton Rouge.
Wow.
And then I left there and went to District Court, which is where I've been for the past 22 years. And here on the District Court, I do multiple things. It's important that, and then I'll talk about why. Being a lawyer and being a judge and narrowly focus on that discipline doesn't make you the best qualified judge because you're knowledgeable of the law, but law is social engineering.
Yeah.
Just like in your profession, you market, you get out here. Well, law has to be just, and you've got to market it just. You've got to have young people believe that it's their system.
Sure.
And if you don't believe it's yours, you don't take ownership, you don't participate, you buy out. So understanding that, I was running behind as a young boy. I ran to catch up.
That's it.
And I've been running ever since. That's why you see on that back of that card how many times I've gone to school.
Yeah.
How many times I've gone to school. But I adopted that internally. And I remember the last time I went, I told the professor that I think I finally caught up from that first grade. I think I finally caught up.
Yeah.
So I want to go to Court of Appeals because I can bring these various disciplines that I have to use of the law. And then I can sit at a table around other judges where in my district, no black has ever ran or sat from the district I'm running in. So I want to tell you, your color is not a negative. It's not a deficit. And it will not be my deficit as to why I'm not elected, the color of my skin. So I'm going to challenge the structure. And I'm going to tell everybody, don't discard me because of the way I look.
Right.
So that's a part of the reason I'm running. I have another reason, but that's part of it. To break the ice or break the ceiling.
Right. Because at the end of the day, and you can attest to this as well, that we're not where we're from. We can always transcend whatever humble beginnings there may be or what have you. Everyone can just put forth that effort and push forward. Yes. And so, like, I commend you for at least, saying, being from these same streets and gaining that type of success, and now trying to put yourself in a position to be able to help others in that same position.
Here's the way I tell it that was told to me. Can anything good come out the hood? Yes. Yeah. And you're it. And you're it. And I want you to know that and believe that and tell everybody else that, because they've got to be told. The seed has got to be planted. If I don't plant that seed with you, you may doubt it. Yeah. So yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I have a question, and it's going to be kind of facetious, so please, I apologize for that. Okay. I watch a lot of Law and Order. Okay. Criminal Intent, Organized Crime, SVU.
I know.
Is that really how it goes down in the courtrooms, or is that just a lot of just dramatics?
They do say effects? Based on real events.
They do say, stripped from the headlines. But is it really that how it is, or is it kind of more theatrics?
It's the dramatization of the event. Okay, in order to make that story where you're going to want to watch it, I've got to dramatize it. I've got to sell it and market it a certain way. Right. So I will. The extremes. I would take something and make an extreme of it, because it's entertainment. It's entertainment. Sure. So the real world is not that way. No, in a court of law, I'm telling you, your life's on the line. Your issue of your liberties on the line, and I'm concerned with the justice system making sure that I'm protecting your rights as an individual. See, part of a judge's duty, and maybe we don't always understand this, my job is to make sure that the power of the state does not run over you. Yeah. Now, you don't hear a lot of judges say that. Right. But if my job, as I sit there, is a powerful state against an individual, my job is to make sure that that power is not utilized to abuse your rights. So if you're going to waive or use those rights, I will make certain that you have the same power to meet the power of the state as a defendant. That way I can have a better factual system of facts presented to me. Yep. So it's a way of equalizing the power. And if the evidence comes forward, I'll tell you right now, and I'll tell everybody, I do not hesitate to say 2 words if the evidence is lacking. not guilty.
Yeah.
Likewise, I do not hesitate to say guilty if the evidence says that. And that's my reputation in the community.
Sure.
I'm going to hold you accountable if the facts are there. If they're not there, you're free to go. It's as simple as that.
Sure.
And it's within you to do that as a judge. You have to have that fortitude.
Right. So, my final question, anything.
Yeah, I have a few questions.
Well, go ahead, man.
Okay, well, while in court, does any certain cases really like hit you personally?
Yes. Some serious cases hit me personally. There are a few cases, and one I'll recall, the state versus Archie Williams. And then there's another one where I imposed the death penalty. And I brought the young man from Angola to my courtroom because I wanted to see him personally. That had never been done before. But if I'm going to order you to die, then I want to tell you to your face. Yeah. So that's one case, and I forget the young man's name. But the jury decided that was the penalty. So I'm called upon to sign a death warrant.
Sure.
And I picked the date. So you can imagine me signing that piece of paper in my hand, struggling to get across the signature line.
Correct.
I'm no God. So that was difficult. The Archie Williams case is different because he served a long sentence in Angola for a crime he didn't commit. And a few years ago, I got the paperwork in the commissioner's office, and a decision was made that I would order the DNA to be analyzed.
Sure.
Well, when he was convicted, DNA wasn't available. So he served all these years in Angola for a crime he didn't commit. But I was able to have the DNA analyzed, and then that released him from jail. He went on a national show, I forget the name of it, to sing his song that he sung so often in Angola.
Oh, wow.
His name is Archie Williams. Maybe you wanted to look at that video, but that's a young man that I let out of prison. Those two cases come to my mind right away. It's a difficult job. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Political pressure, money pressure. You've got to have some
Kahunas.
What word you? I didn't use that word, but
Coconuts.
Oh, all right. I don't know, but you got to have something in you that's steel, to make you a good judge. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, why should people on November 8th vote for Judge Don Johnson for First City Court of Appeal?
Because you're voting for yourself. I could leave work today and quit. And I go every day. I'm paid to go. But I could stop today and I'll be paid the same salary for not working. So working as a judge for me is not about money. It's about a vocation. I say vote for me because I'm a product of my community. I'm a product of the past. But I am not incarcerated or imprisoned by that. Think of what I just told you. Young people, do not be imprisoned about where you came from. Do not allow your past judgments to foreshadow your future. You do not be imprisoned by yesterday's mistake. And that is why I want to go to court of appeals, because I need to be able to tell judges below me that when you hold someone accountable, make certain that you also give them a chance to go farther with their future. Do not keep your foot always on their neck.
That's it.
Yeah, that's where I want to be. Thank you.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Judge Don Johnson, good luck the rest of the campaign. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
For clocking in, and we'll be right back after this.